Good day, everyone. I welcome you to a Microscope with JOB. In our previous video, I did a review of the book Homo Machis, where I discussed the inevitability of change. That change is constant, and as change is constant, how do we adapt to change so that we can achieve positive aspects of whatever we are going through. Today I will be speaking on the book The Richest Man in Babylon, which was written by George Clason in 1926. The book is basically about finance. How do we acquire money? How do we keep money? How do we use the money that is kept to earn more money? That's the central message of the book. Okay, today I'll be talking about the book The Richest Man in Babylon. And the book basically talks about the principles of wealth creation. How do we create wealth? And the first thing that the author speaks about is the desire for wealth creation. You must have that great desire. That even reminds me, when I read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, the same thing we hammered on is the desire. If you have that desire, you can actually work towards it. So if the first question I'll ask you, do you have the desire to create wealth? That desire must be there. If you don't have the desire, you are only wishing to become rich. You will wish at the end you remain stagnant. You may remain the same way. So the first thing is the desire to be wealthy. And that is the first thing spoken about in the book, the principle of the desire to be wealthy. And that is why he began by the first chapter, it began by the man who desired wealth. And the man who desired wealth, when he desired wealth, he started making moves. He started taking steps. Like, what do I do? Since I desire to be wealthy, what do I do? Then, with his steps, he started asking questions. How do I become rich? He even went to meet a rich man and explained the principles. And as the rich man was explaining the principle to him, the first thing he said, you must cultivate the habit of saving. The saving habits. And that is the first cure or lean process according to Akkad in the Bible, in the book. The principle of saving, the saving habit. That whatever you earn, 1/10 of it is for you to save. You must learn to save, because if you don't cultivate the habit of saving, no matter what you are earning, no matter the amount you are earning, whether big or small, you will spend everything. In fact, you want to borrow to spend. So the principle of saving. As you are working, have you asked yourself how much you are saving from what you are earning? Are you one of those that will tell yourself, I'm not earning much? When I start earning much, that is when I'm saving. When you tell yourself that, you are not ready for wealth creation. So that habit must be cultivated, because you know in our daily life, we are ruled by our habits. When you have that, different habits make us. So that saving habit must be there. Then for you to be able to save, you must control your expenditure. That is why the author speaks about the second cure, that is, your expenditure must be controlled. Because without controlling your expenditure, you cannot actually save. That also talks about the expenditure habit. How do you reduce what you spend? How do you work on the expenditure? Because if you don't work on the expenditure, as money is coming, you see yourself spending, and you see yourself spending everything. At the end, you may not be able to actually save. So the first thing is that saving habit. And for you to be able to save, you must work on the expenditure. Most times, you see most of us spending, and we will maintain that what we are spending on necessary things. But if we do analysis, we do a budget of whatever we want to spend on, we're able to differentiate wants from needs, to spend on needs, and wants can wait. Okay, as a way of doing a recap of what I've been saying, the first thing I spoke about is the desire. That desire must be there, because without that desire, when the difficulties of life come, you may not be able to sustain that habit of saving, because all of us know that it's not easy to save. In fact, we will tell ourselves we are not going to save because it's not easy. It is that desire that will sustain you when that difficulties come. It is a desire that will sustain you when you are trying to build that habit of saving. And as you are trying to build a habit of saving, you are seeing difficulties, you are falling and rising. It is the desire that will sustain you in that journey of trying to cultivate that habit of saving. And when you are able to cultivate that habit of saving, then you see yourself controlling expenditure. Before you know, your system conforms to that habit, so that before you spend, your mind is already telling you, is it necessary? It is not necessary, let's not go for it. Because we cannot actually solve all of our problems. But with that habit of saving, we begin to control expenditure. And we're able to control expenditure, you see that your saving habit is increasing. You begin to see you do not have money left untouched. And with the feeling of you having money left, you see you create that abundance in you. In your mind, you become abundant. You have that what we call abundance mentality spoken by Covey in his book Habit of Highly Effective People. You have that abundance mindset, and you see yourself thriving despite the difficulties you may be experiencing. So the desire must be there. That leads you to having that saving habit and expenditure habit. When you put these three together, you see that you are already on a pathway of achieving successes, achieving abundance. And some of the things you think you won't be able to achieve in life, you see them achieving, you see you achieving it then effortlessly. And you smile at all times because you have stumbled on principles that assist those that are rich, and you see yourself working towards getting that. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed the short video. I'll be stopping here for today. In subsequent videos, I'll be discussing other principles that are shared in the book. I don't want you to try these principles of desire, the saving habit, and the expenditure habit. Put them into practice, and you will see that they're actually practicable. Without much ado, I will be stopping here today. I want you to look forward to other videos talking about the other principles that will help us in actually achieving the success we desire. Thank you. This is the Microscope with Job. See you next time.